First Contact, Humanity's Unexpected Strength. The Galactic Federation had observed Earth for centuries, waiting for the right moment to make contact. They had catalogued thousands of species across the cosmos, but humans fascinated them like no other. These bipedal creatures seemed so fragile, yet they had survived and thrived, despite countless natural disasters and self-inflicted calamities. Commander Zix of the Arcturian Diplomatic Corps stood on the bridge of the massive ship Celestial Envoy, orbiting just beyond Earth's moon. His iridescent scales shimmered under the soft blue lighting as he addressed his crew. "Today, we make history," Zix announced, his voice a melodious trill. "Prepare the landing party. Remember, these humans are classified as a Class 3 civilization. They're clever, but technologically primitive. Our goal is to establish peaceful contact and guide them into the galactic community." As the sleek shuttlecraft descended through Earth's atmosphere, alarms blared in military bases across the globe. Within minutes, squadrons of fighter jets scrambled to intercept the unknown craft. Zix watched the approaching aircraft with mild amusement. Observed their quaint propulsion systems, he remarked to his second-in-command Vela, "Prepare the shield harmonics. We don't want to harm them, but we can't allow them to damage our vessel." Suddenly, a barrage of missiles streaked towards the alien craft. The Arcturians braced for impact, but their advanced shielding easily deflected the primitive weapons. "Fascinating," Zix mused. "They're more aggressive than we anticipated. Perhaps we should retreat and rethink our approach." Before Vela could respond, a deafening explosion rocked the shuttle. Warning lights flashed across the control panels as the ship began to lose altitude. "Impossible," Vela exclaimed, her tendrils writhing in distress. "How did they penetrate our shields?" Zix's compound eyes widened in shock as he analyzed the data. It wasn't the missiles, he realized. They've used some kind of electromagnetic pulse. Our systems are failing. As the crippled shuttle plummeted towards the Earth's surface, Zix felt a mixture of terror and grudging respect. These humans were full of surprises. The crash landing was rougher than any simulation Zix had ever experienced. As the dust settled, he assessed the damage. The shuttle was a total loss, but miraculously, all crew members had survived. "We need to establish contact with the Celestial Envoy," Zix ordered, struggling to his feet. "Vela, see if you can salvage any of our communication equipment." Before they could act, the sound of approaching vehicles filled the air. Heavily armed soldiers surrounded the crash site, their weapons trained on the alien visitors. A stern-faced woman in a crisp military uniform stepped forward. "I am General Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force," she announced, her voice carrying easily across the field. "You are now in custody of the human race. Surrender peacefully, and you will not be harmed." Zix hesitated, weighing his options. Their technology was compromised, and they were vastly outnumbered. With a resigned sigh, he raised his upper limbs in the universal gesture of surrender. "I am Commander Zix of the Galactic Federation," he responded, activating his universal translator. "We come in peace and mean you no harm. We request asylum and the opportunity to explain our presence." General Chen's eyes narrowed, but she nodded curtly. "Very well. You will be escorted to a secure facility for debriefing. Any hostile action will be met with lethal force. Do you understand?" As the aliens were led away, Zix couldn't help but marvel at the efficiency and coordination of the human response. For a species that had yet to achieve faster-than-light travel, they had managed to disable a far more advanced craft and capture its crew with minimal casualties. In the days that followed, Zix and his team underwent intense interrogation. The humans were relentless in their questioning, probing for any potential threat to their world. Despite the circumstances, Zix found himself increasingly impressed by their adaptability and quick thinking. During one particularly grueling session, a young scientist named Dr. Aisha Patel managed to decipher parts of the aliens' database. Her eyes lit up with excitement as she pored over the information. "General Chen," she called out, her voice trembling with awe. You need to see this. The galaxy, it's teeming with life. And the Galactic Federation, it's real. We're not alone anymore. The revelation sent shockwaves through the human leadership. Emergency meetings were called, and plans were hastily drawn up to deal with this new reality. Meanwhile, in his holding cell, Zix received an unexpected visitor. General Chen entered, her posture slightly less rigid than before. "Commander," she began, "we've reviewed your data and discussed your proposal for Earth to join the Galactic Federation." She paused, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "We have some conditions." Zix leaned forward, intrigued. "Oh, and what might those be?" "First," Chen continued, "we want access to your faster-than-light technology. Second, we require a seat on the Galactic Council. And third," her eyes gleamed with determination, "we want to establish a human-led defense force to protect not just Earth, but any world that needs our help." Zix's mandibles clicked in surprise. "That's unprecedented. You do realize you're asking for privileges usually reserved for far more advanced civilizations." Chen's smile widened. "We may be new to the galactic stage, Commander, but we're quick learners. And we have a lot to offer." As Zix considered the audacious proposal, he realized that the Galactic Federation had severely underestimated humanity. These beings, with their remarkable blend of aggression and compassion, ingenuity and determination, would undoubtedly change the face of galactic politics forever. "Very well, General," Zix finally responded. "I will present your terms to the Council. But I must warn you, the galaxy is a dangerous place. Are you certain humanity is ready for what lies beyond your stars?" General Chen's gaze never wavered as she replied, "Commander Zix, humanity has faced countless challenges throughout our history. We've survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and our own self-destructive tendencies. We're not just ready for the galaxy. The galaxy better be ready for us." As Zix was escorted back to his cell, he couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter with humanity would mark the beginning of a new era for the entire universe. Whether that was a good thing or not remained to be seen. The Galactic Council's dilemma. The great crystalline dome of the Galactic Council chamber hummed with nervous energy. Representatives from 1,000 worlds filled the tiered seating, their diverse forms a testament to the vastness of life in the cosmos. At the center, projected on a shimmering holographic display, stood Commander Zix. "Esteemed members of the Council," Zix began, his voice echoing through the chamber, "I come before you with unprecedented news. The species known as humans, from the planet Earth, have not only survived first contact, but have demonstrated capabilities far beyond their technological level." Murmurs rippled through the assembly. A willowy being with luminous skin rose from her seat. "Commander Zix," she said, her voice like wind chimes, "I am Counselor Lira of the Photon Collective. Please elaborate on these capabilities." Zix's compound eyes blinked rapidly, a sign of his discomfort. "The humans managed to disable our shuttle with an electromagnetic pulse weapon we didn't even detect. They captured our entire team without a single casualty on either side. And now," he paused, steeling himself, "they demand a seat on this very council, along with access to our FTL technology." The chamber erupted in chaos. Shouts of disbelief and outrage echoed off the crystal walls. Grand Arbiter Xon, a massive gelatinous being, raised all 7 of his appendages for silence. "Order." Xon's booming voice reverberated through the chamber. "We will discuss this matter civilly." He turned his eye stalks toward Zix. "Commander, surely you explained to these humans that such demands are ludicrous. They are barely a Class 3 civilization." Zix's antennae drooped slightly. "I did, Grand Arbiter. But I must admit, after observing them firsthand, I'm not certain our classification system adequately captures their potential. They are unpredictable." From the shadows of the upper tier, a gravelly voice spoke. "Perhaps that unpredictability is exactly what we need." All eyes turned to the speaker, a being shrouded in a dark cloak. Counselor Drac of the Voidwalkers, rarely seen and even more rarely heard, leaned forward. "Tell me, Commander, did the humans mention anything about protection?" Zix nodded slowly. "Yes, Counselor. They expressed a desire to establish a defense force, not just for their world, but for others as well." A ripple of unease passed through the chamber. Counselor Lira's glow dimmed noticeably. "Surely you're not suggesting we consider this, Drac? These humans are savages, barely out of their stone age." Drac's hidden eyes seemed to bore into Lyra. "And yet they disabled one of our most advanced chips. Imagine what they could do with proper training and technology." Grand Arbiter Xon's gelatinous form rippled with concern. "Are you speaking of the swarm, Counselor Drac?" The chamber fell silent. The swarm, a relentless, all-consuming force that had already devoured dozens of systems on the galaxy's outer rim. The Galactic Federation's mighty fleets had proven ineffective against the hive-minded horrors. Drac nodded slowly. "Our conventional tactics have failed. Perhaps it's time for an unconventional approach." As the Council debated, light years away on Earth, humanity was undergoing a transformation. The revelation of alien life had initially caused panic, but it quickly gave way to a surge of unity and purpose unlike anything in human history. In a repurposed airplane hangar, Dr. Aisha Patel pored over alien schematics with a team of the world's brightest minds. Her eyes gleamed with excitement as she pointed to a complex diagram. "Look at this propulsion system. It doesn't just bend space. It creates localized wormholes. Imagine the possibilities." Across the room, General Chen was deep in conversation with Vela, Zix's second-in-command. The Arcturian seemed both impressed and unnerved by the intensity of the humans' questions. "So, these swarm creatures," Chen pressed, "they operate on a hive mind. No individual consciousness." Vela's tendrils twisted nervously. "Correct. It makes them nearly impossible to negotiate with or deter. They simply consume and expand." Chen's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "Hive minds have weaknesses. Cut off the queen, and the drones fall. We've dealt with similar threats on a smaller scale. Army ants, locusts. The principle should be the same, just on a cosmic scale." Vela blinked in surprise. You've faced hive mind threats before." Chen smiled grimly. "Earth is full of dangers, some tiny, some massive. We've learned to adapt and overcome. It's what we do best." As night fell, the leaders of Earth gathered in a secure underground bunker. The air was thick with tension and possibility. President Curry of the newly formed United Earth Government addressed the assembly. "Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at a crossroads. Out there," he gestured upwards, "lies a galaxy full of wonders and terrors beyond our wildest dreams. We have been offered a choice: remain safely on our little blue marble or step onto the galactic stage." He paused, his gaze sweeping the room. "But we are humanity. When have we ever chosen the safe path? We crossed oceans in wooden boats. We flew to the moon with less computing power than a modern smartphone. We faced extinction-level events and emerged stronger." The room filled with murmurs of agreement. President Curry's voice rose with passion. "Now, the galaxy needs us. Not just our strength, but our ingenuity, our adaptability, our sheer stubborn refusal to give up. I say we show these aliens what humanity is truly capable of." Cheers erupted from the assembled leaders. As the sound died down, General Chen stepped forward. "We've analyzed the alien data. This swarm is unlike anything we've faced, but not unlike things we've imagined. Our science fiction authors have been preparing us for this moment for centuries." She activated a holographic display, showing schematics for advanced weapons and ships. "We've already begun adapting their technology to our needs. With their FTL drives and our weapons technology, we can create a fleet unlike anything the galaxy has seen." Dr. Patel chimed in, her eyes shining with excitement. "And it's not just military applications. Their medical technology, Their energy systems, we're on the brink of solving world hunger, curing diseases, ending our dependence on fossil fuels. The potential is limitless. President Corey nodded solemnly. Then it's decided. We will accept the Galactic Federation's offer, but on our terms. We are not just joining their council, we are going to change the very nature of galactic civilization. As the meeting adjourned, humans across the globe began to mobilize. Factories retooled to produce advanced alloys and components. Universities established xenobiology and astropolitics departments overnight. Military strategists pored over reports of alien conflicts, devising new tactics. Humanity, with its unique blend of cooperation and competition, innovation and determination, was preparing to make its mark on the galaxy. And the galaxy, whether it knew it or not, would never be the same. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, the debate raged on. Unaware of the flurry of activity on Earth, the councilors argued about the potential risks and benefits of allowing humans into their ranks. Little did they know, the decision had already been made. Humanity was coming, ready or not, and the age-old institutions of the galaxy were about to face a force they could never have prepared for. Human ingenuity unleashed on a cosmic scale. Human ingenuity unleashed. The Galactic Council's decision to cautiously accept Earth into its ranks sent shockwaves through the cosmos. Many elder races watched with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation as humans burst onto the interstellar scene with unprecedented speed and enthusiasm. Within months of receiving access to alien technology, Earth's first faster-than-light ship, the UES Prometheus, was ready for its maiden voyage. Its sleek design incorporated both Arcturian propulsion systems and distinctly human innovations. On the bridge of the Prometheus, Captain Zara Rodriguez surveyed her crew with pride. Each member represented the best humanity had to offer. Brilliant minds from every corner of the globe, united in their mission to explore and protect. All systems check out, Captain, reported Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka from the helm. FTL drive is spooled and ready. Captain Rodriguez nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. Then let's make history. Engage FTL. Destination: Arcturus. The stars outside the viewscreen blurred into streaks of light as the Prometheus leaped into hyperspace. The journey to Arcturus, once an impossible dream, now took mere hours. As the ship dropped out of FTL near the Arcturian homeworld, gasps of awe filled the bridge. The planet was a swirling marble of vibrant purples and blues, orbited by gleaming space stations and sleek vessels. "We're being hailed," announced Communications Officer Alejandro Reyes. It's the Arcturian High Command." The view screen flickered to life, revealing the iridescent form of Arch Commander Zilith. Her compound eyes widened at the sight of the human crew. "Greetings, Prometheus." Zilith's melodious voice filled the bridge. We didn't expect you so soon. Your ship, it's unlike anything in our database." Captain Rodriguez stepped forward. "Thank you for the warm welcome, Arch Commander. We're eager to begin our collaborative efforts against the swarm threat." Zilith's antennae twitched in what might have been surprise. "You've already prepared battle plans, but you've only just acquired FTL capability." Rodriguez's smile widened. "Arch Commander, if there's one thing you'll learn about humans, it's that we don't waste time when there's work to be done." Over the next few weeks, the crew of the Prometheus worked tirelessly alongside their Arcturian counterparts. Human adaptability and out-of-the-box thinking complemented Arcturian precision and advanced technology in ways neither species had anticipated. Dr. Aisha Patel, now serving as the ship's chief science officer, made a breakthrough that stunned the Arcturian scientists. By combining Earth's rudimentary force field technology with Arcturian energy matrices, she created a shield system that could adapt to different types of attacks in real time. "It's like a technological immune system," she explained to a group of awestruck Arcturians. "It learns from each hit it takes, becoming stronger and more efficient." Meanwhile, in the ship's engineering bay, Chief Engineer Omar Khalil worked alongside Arcturian technicians to refine the FTL drive. His unorthodox approach, incorporating principles from Earth's quantum mechanics theories, yielded a 20% increase in efficiency and stability. You see, Omar explained as he made adjustments to a pulsing energy core, sometimes you need to embrace a little chaos to achieve true harmony. The Arcturians watched in amazement as the humans took technologies they had used for millennia and pushed them to new limits. It was as if the humans' shorter lifespans drove them to innovate at a pace the long-lived Arcturians could scarcely comprehend. As news of these advancements spread, other races within the Galactic Federation began to take notice. Diplomatic channels buzzed with activity as various species sought to establish ties with Earth. Back on Earth, the pace of progress was equally frantic. Cities were transformed as alien technology was integrated into everyday life. Towering arcologies powered by zero-point energy replaced smog-choked skylines. Teleportation grids eliminated traffic congestion overnight. But it wasn't just in technology that humanity excelled. Earth's diplomats, drawing on thousands of years of experience navigating complex cultural landscapes, proved remarkably adept at forging alliances and mediating disputes between alien races. Ambassador Leyland Cozy, representing Earth at a crucial trade negotiation between the silicon-based crystallines and the gaseous nebulans, showcased humanity's unique perspective. Esteemed delegates, she addressed the frustrated parties. Your differences in physical form have led you to overlook your common goals. But consider this. On Earth, we have a saying, music is the universal language. Perhaps we can find a similar common ground here. Her innovative solution, using harmonic frequencies to facilitate communication between the radically different species, not only resolved the trade dispute, but opened up new avenues for interspecies collaboration. As Earth's influence grew, so did concerns among some of the older races. The Photon Collective, in particular, viewed humanity's rapid ascension with alarm. Counselor Lyra convened an emergency session of the Galactic Council. Esteemed colleagues, she began, her luminous form pulsing with agitation, we must address the human question. Their rate of advancement is unprecedented, and I believe, dangerous. Grand Arbiter Xon's gelatinous form rippled thoughtfully. They have made remarkable progress, it's true. But is progress itself a danger? It is when it outpaces wisdom, Lyra countered. These humans, they create without fully understanding the consequences. They innovate without regard for tradition or established order. If left unchecked, they could upset the balance we've maintained for eons. From the shadows, Counselor Drax spoke, and perhaps that balance needs upsetting. All eyes turned to the Void Walker. The swarm grows stronger while we debate. The humans' disregard for our conventions may be exactly what we need to survive. As the Council argued, unaware of the looming threat, the swarm pushed ever closer to the heart of the galaxy. On the fringes of known space, colonies fell silent, devoured by the insatiable horde. Humanity's time on the galactic stage had only just begun, but already they were reshaping the very fabric of interstellar society. As the debate raged in the council chamber, one thing became clear. Ready or not, the galaxy was changing, and at the heart of that change stood humanity, brilliant, reckless, and burning with the fire of limitless potential. The question that echoed through the stars was no longer whether humanity belonged among them, but whether the galaxy could survive the force of human ingenuity unleashed. Alliance and betrayal. As humanity's influence spread across the galaxy, new alliances formed and old tensions simmered. The UES Prometheus, now joined by a growing fleet of Earth ships, found itself at the forefront of diplomatic missions and scientific expeditions. On a distant world at the edge of Federation space, Captain Rodriguez and her crew made a startling discovery. The planet, designated XR-27, was home to a pre-spaceflight civilization that bore an uncanny resemblance to Earth's ancient Mayans. It's incredible, Dr. Patel breathed, examining holographic renderings of the alien city. The pyramidal structures, the astronomical alignments. It's as if someone plucked a Mayan city from Earth and dropped it here. Captain Rodriguez frowned. The question is, who and why? Their pondering was interrupted by an urgent communication from Earth. General Chen's holographic form materialized on the bridge, her expression grave. Captain, we've received disturbing intelligence. Chen began without preamble. The Photon Collective has been secretly arming several outer rim worlds with advanced weaponry. We believe they're building a coalition to challenge Earth's growing influence. Rodriguez's eyes narrowed. That's a direct violation of the Federation's non-proliferation treaties. Have you informed the Council? Chen shook her head. We can't risk tipping our hand yet. We need hard evidence. Your new mission is to investigate these claims and gather proof if possible. As the Prometheus set course for the Outer Rim, tensions within the Galactic Council reached a boiling point. Councillor Lyra of the Photon Collective stood before the assembly, her luminous form pulsing with barely contained anger. Esteemed colleagues, she began, we can no longer ignore the human threat. In less than a standard galactic year, they have upended millennia of carefully maintained balance. Their reckless expansion and unchecked technological growth endanger us all. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Grand Arbiter Xan raised an appendage for silence. Councillor Lyra, these are serious accusations. Do you have evidence of specific transgressions? Lyra's glow intensified. Evidence. Look around you. Human-inspired technologies are spreading like a virus. Their diplomats meddle in affairs that have nothing to do with them. And now, they're building a war fleet under the guise of protection. From his shadowy perch, Councillor Drax spoke. A fleet that has already proven effective against swarm incursions. Or have you forgotten the Battle of Sigma Draconis, where human tactics saved millions of lives? At what cost? Lyra countered. They used weaponry that violated a dozen Federation regulations. Their victory came at the price of destabilizing an entire sector. As the debate raged on, the Prometheus approached the outer rim world of Taurus Prime, rumored to be a hub of Photon Collective activity. Under the cover of a diplomatic mission, the crew began their covert investigation. Lieutenant Tanaka, now doubling as the ship's tactical officer, discovered an encrypted communication channel. With the help of Dr. Patel's ingenious decryption algorithms, they cracked the code. Captain, Tanaka reported, her voice tight with tension. You need to see this. It's worse than we thought. The decrypted messages revealed a shocking truth. The Photon Collective wasn't just arming outer rim worlds. They were in secret negotiations with the swarm itself. They're trying to redirect the swarm towards Earth. Rodriguez breathed, horror dawning on her face. They're willing to sacrifice billions of lives just to get rid of us. Before they could report their findings, alarms blared across the ship. A massive fleet of Photon Collective vessels dropped out of FTL, surrounding the Prometheus. We're being hailed, Officer Rice announced, his voice steady despite the dire situation. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the stern visage of Admiral Jorak of the Photon Collective. Captain Rodriguez, he intoned, his voice cold, by the authority of the Galactic Council, you and your crew are under arrest for espionage and violations of Federation law. Rodriguez's mind raced. They were outgunned and outnumbered, with no way to call for help without revealing Earth's covert operation. But they couldn't let the evidence of the Collective's betrayal be destroyed. In that moment, she made a decision that would change the course of galactic history. Lieutenant Tanaka, she ordered, her voice calm despite the chaos. Initiate Protocol Omega. Tanaka's eyes widened in recognition, but she nodded firmly. Aye, Captain. Protocol Omega initiated. As the Photon Collective ships closed in, the Prometheus's systems began to power down. To the outside observer, it appeared as if the human vessel was surrendering. But deep within the ship's core, a specially designed quantum entanglement device activated. In an instant, all the data they had gathered, proof of the Collective's treachery, the swarm negotiations, everything, was transmitted across vast interstellar distances directly to Earth Command. Admiral Jorak's smug voice filled the bridge. "A wise decision, Captain. Prepare to be boarded." As armed Photon Collective troops transported onto the Prometheus, Captain Rodriguez stood tall, her crew at her side. They had done their duty. Now it was up to Earth to act on the information they had sacrificed everything to obtain. Across the galaxy, in the secure bunkers of Earth Command, General Chen received the quantum burst transmission. As she absorbed the shocking revelations, her expression hardened into one of grim determination. "Send word to all our ships and allies," she ordered. "As of this moment, we are at war." The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the galaxy. Humanity, betrayed by those they had sought to protect, now faced a two-front war against both the Photon Collective and the approaching swarm. But if their adversaries thought this would break the human spirit, they were about to learn a harsh lesson. For in the crucible of conflict, humanity's true potential was about to be unleashed. Humanity's true power revealed. The news of the Prometheus's capture and the Photon Collective's betrayal spread through the galaxy like wildfire. The Galactic Council chambers erupted into chaos as accusations flew and alliances shattered. On Earth, a grim determination settled over humanity. President Corey addressed the United Earth government, his voice resonating with resolve. "We came to the stars in peace, offering friendship and innovation. In return, we've been met with treachery and the threat of annihilation. But if there's one thing human history has taught us, it's that we are at our best when faced with impossible odds." Across the planet, and on human colonies throughout the solar system, a massive mobilization began. Shipyards worked around the clock, churning out advanced vessels that merged human ingenuity with alien technology. Scientists and engineers pushed the boundaries of what was possible, driven by the urgency of their situation. Dr. Aisha Patel, having escaped capture on a stealth shuttle from the Prometheus, led a team in developing a revolutionary weapon. Based on the swarm's own hive mind structure, the Nexus Disruptor promised to sever the psychic links binding the swarm together. Meanwhile, in the depths of space, the captured crew of the Prometheus refused to be idle prisoners. Led by the indomitable Captain Rodriguez, they began a subtle campaign of resistance and intelligence gathering. Using skills honed by centuries of human espionage tradecraft, they slowly but surely turned their captivity to their advantage. As the Photon Collective fleet, bolstered by their secret swarm allies, pushed towards Earth, they encountered unexpectedly fierce resistance. Human ships, though outnumbered, displayed tactics that left their enemies reeling. Admiral Chen, commanding the defense from the flagship UES Excalibur, unleashed strategies that seemed to defy conventional space combat logic. Ships appeared and disappeared using experimental phase shift technology. Swarms of AI-driven microdrones overwhelmed enemy sensors. And at the heart of it all, a core of human pilots pulled off maneuvers that their alien counterparts had dismissed as suicidal, yet somehow emerged victorious. In the council chambers, Grand Arbiter Xan watched the conflict unfold with growing alarm. "This war must end," he declared. "The loss of life, the destruction, it goes against everything the Federation stands for." Councillor Drac, his shadowy form seeming to grow more substantial in the face of crisis, countered. "And yet, it is the Federation's own failings that brought us here. Perhaps it's time for a new order." As the battle raged closer to Earth, humanity unveiled its ultimate weapon. The Nexus Disruptor, mounted on a specially designed ship named the UES Pandora, plunged into the heart of the approaching swarm. For a moment, it seemed as if the gambit had failed. Then, a pulse of energy rippled out from the Pandora. Across the battlefield, swarm ships began to falter, their coordinated movements dissolving into chaos. Captain Rodriguez, watching from her cell aboard the Photon Collective flagship, allowed herself a grim smile. The human penchant for turning enemy strengths against them had paid off once again. With the swarm in disarray, the tide of battle turned. The Photon Collective, their secret allies now a liability, found themselves outmaneuvered and overwhelmed by the combined forces of humanity and those Federation members who had remained loyal. In a final, desperate gambit, Admiral Jorak ordered an all-out assault on Earth itself, but he had underestimated humanity's resolve. As the collective fleet approached, they were met not just by Earth's defenses, but by a hastily assembled coalition of alien races who had come to see humans not as upstarts, but as valued allies. The battle for Earth would be remembered for generations as a testament to the human spirit. Outnumbered but never outfought, Earth's defenders held the line. Civilian ships joined the fray, ramming collective cruisers in suicide runs that spoke volumes about humanity's willingness to sacrifice for their home. As the dust settled and the remnants of the collective fleet retreated, the galaxy looked upon humanity with new eyes. They had faced extinction and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. In the aftermath, a new galactic order began to take shape. The old council was dissolved, replaced by a more representative body that gave voice to younger races alongside the elders. Humanity, having proven both its strength and its capacity for cooperation, took a leading role in this new era. Captain Rodriguez, finally freed and reunited with her crew, stood on the observation deck of the rebuilt Prometheus. As she gazed out at the stars, she reflected on the journey that had brought them here. "We came to the galaxy as newcomers," she mused to Dr. Patel, who stood beside her. "We were seen as primitive, dangerous, unpredictable. And perhaps we are all those things, but we're also innovators, peacekeepers, and when necessary, warriors." Patel nodded, her eyes gleaming with the possibilities that lay ahead. "We've shown the galaxy what humanity is capable of. Now comes the real challenge, building a future that lives up to that potential." As the Prometheus prepared to embark on a new mission of exploration and diplomacy, the message to the galaxy was clear. Humanity had arrived on the cosmic stage, not just as participants, but as shapers of destiny. The age of human ascendancy had begun, and the universe would never be the same. In the vast tapestry of galactic civilization, a new thread had been woven. Bright, vibrant, and undeniably human. The story of humanity among the stars was just beginning, and it promised to be an epic tale indeed.